Welcome everybody to the Finding Your Voice platform where we connect with each other from all over the world. I am Laura and today we meet with the absolutely amazing Simona Spark. Simona is a relationship coach. She's an LGBTQ activist. She's the owner and the founder of Spark Transformation Academy, and she works with LGBTQ families, supporting them to release their limiting beliefs to fully embrace their new identities. And not only does she do all that, but she is also a TEDx speaker. Let's celebrate. She's a published author, and she's the creator and host of the Redefined Family in the Modern Age of LGBTQ Podcast. What an absolute honor this is, Simona, to have you on board. I'm so excited. I would love you just to tell us where you're at right now, what it is that you're now working on. We've spoken about the fact that you've got to focus on parenting and families and all that. I'd love to just hear a little bit more. Go for it. Tell me all about it. I'm so excited.
Well, thank you so much for having me here, Laura. I just absolutely love the space that you created for people to come and share and connect with another. And I really love the title of your mission, Finding Your Voice.
Thank you.
Well, I'm happy that I have my voice today. I almost literally lost it yesterday because I'm coughing so hard. And that being said, I might just mute myself if I need to cough.
Don't forget to unmute because we'll be like, what?
Yes. So I am living in Auckland, New Zealand. I'm originally from Romania. I used to live in the United States for the past decade or so. And 3 years ago already, I think, yes, I moved here in Auckland, New Zealand. So that's where I am.
Welcome to our office. Wow. And so we were talking just a little bit earlier about where your current focus is. I was wondering if you wanted to tell us more about that.
Yes, thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah.
My main focus is on parenting. And the reason that is believing in we have the power as parents to raise a better future. So my main paradigm in my practice is to support people to become the parents that their children need them to be. So we want to, move away from the old rules that simply don't apply. And I really love to say that we are living times where we are basically living in our kids' world and not the other way around. And we are called to update and upgrade our old belief system so it's going to match where our kids are so we could be a better parents for them. So that's my main focus.
I really love that because I'm just writing down here, update and upgrade our old belief systems, because we've got COVID-19 that's, slammed the entire world, right? The entire world's just gone, and now we're in this point
of lockdown, right? Happy first day of lockdown, or
happy first day, So in New Zealand, for those of you who don't know, we're in our first day of compulsory lockdown, where we're basically staying in our house. We're allowed to go out a little bit, but our daily life and our daily routines are somewhat limited and somewhat restricted, right? And so this is why this is so wonderful. It's like we're catching up. We're having a chat. It's amazing. And this is such a good way for people to remain connected, isn't it? Just to get on the phone and do all that kind of thing. But, right now, when you've said update and upgrade our old beliefs, I've spoken so often about this, that we have our pre-COVID life and the belief system and identity, and then we have COVID, and then we've got our post-COVID beliefs and identity, right? So we've got there's an opportunity for a bit of a shift that's happening right now. So we have the opportunity to step into a new belief system and into a new identity. And what better a time to actually look at, as parents, how are we being? Are we being the best version of ourselves? Are we taking into account what it is that our child needs from us, as opposed to saying, I'm the parent, you've got to do what I say because that's your role. Those are old beliefs. I mean, if I try and tell my daughter that she's got to do anything, I might as well be talking to this wall behind me, because it's not going to happen. Okay. And so there must be different things that are happening, obviously, right now, where we've got a wonderful opportunity as parents, right, to to look at different things that we're doing.
Absolutely. I am present in, volunteer help and support in many parenting groups, and it really breaks my heart to see parents complaining about how their children being home is such an inconvenience for their own routine.
Mm.
And at the same time, I want to have my heart open with compassion, understanding that that's what they have. It's all they know. And in the same time, this is such a gift. And I know some people might be triggered to say about this messed up virus, there is a gift, but it is, because it's giving you the opportunity to reconnect with that child that it's a convenience to be at home every day, to hug them more, to tell them more than you love them, to start a conversation with them, to, most importantly, listen more. As you say, we don't get to keep telling our kids what to do. It's amazing how much we get to learn if we actually let them lead every now and then. And I don't even care what age they are.
Yeah.
Like at any age, our kids could give us amazing ideas and really lead us to different ideas or ways of doing things, because they don't have so many filters as we adults have.
Yeah.
They don't care that much about what that person might say or how the other person might judge. They simply don't. So their ideas are so pure and so original. So I will really look at this such an amazing opportunity to reconnect, to listen more, to learn more about our children, and actually ask them, what is it that you need?
Yeah. Because they won't be used to us asking that, I can't imagine. There'll be some parents, granted, who always go, what do you need from me, darling? But the child potentially comes from a place where they're not used to you asking what it is that they need. They might not even know how to identify what it is that they need, right?
Mm-hmm. And I like how you say that it's a pre-virus and after-virus identity shift and whatever. And like anything, any other change, it's so subtle.
Yeah.
What I know for sure, and those are big words, is that who we're going to become after this, it's going to be totally different than who we are now.
Yeah, absolutely.
This experience is going to change us forever. So what we could do is to actually tune in and really, rescan and reevaluate and redefine who we are, who we want to be. What are our values? What is it that we really want to hold to on? And what is it that we might want to change or update or upgrade? Like in this, what I like to call it, like global reset. Like redefine your relationship with your partner, with your child, with your colleagues, with your job. We were talking the other day, it's like, it's so sad so many people cannot go to work or even lost their job. Yeah. And really, it's an invitation to just ask yourself and check with yourself, how do you feel about that job? And really take the courage to decide, hey, I actually really hated that job. I'm supposed to be doing something else. Or to say, oh my God, I miss my job so much. I cannot wait to get back to it and take this time to just, plan or decide how you're going to show up even better into your job that you love so much.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. We were talking earlier, if we just go back to you as a mum, we were talking earlier about the thing that's probably gotten you the most about this, that's kind of hitting you really hard in the heart right now, is the fact that your son, something that he was working so hard towards, his production that he was a part of, has obviously been cancelled.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you wanted to dive into that a little bit more about, what does that mean? What are you seeing within him? What are you feeling within you? What are you doing about this? How are you managing this? Because while it's not necessarily for the unforeseeable future that everything's going to be cancelled and we're going to be on lockdown forever, we don't necessarily have any set time as to when anything else is going to pick back up again. What are you doing? What's going on there with you guys?
Look, last week was very sad. I was crying a lot. He was crying. I was crying. I was just like, I couldn't even put my mascara in the morning because I know it's going to be a mess by noon. And it really is just sitting with it and recognize that it's sad, because like my kid, like he's most alive when he dance and sing and perform, and having that kind of taking away from him was just like such a shock, and we need to process, and probably we are still processing. But what I'm really happy about it is that he's actually continued to rehearse every day. Even though that I'm working from home and this is my office and my coaching sessions are recording and I'm recording for podcasts, like he's behind the wall singing, dancing, jumping, and it's great. And I just want to share that for other parents that have, activities they are canceled. I mean, sports, I don't know much about sports. I don't see how most of the sports you could practice in your own room. But at least in this type of activities, like he is connected with multiple groups of friends. They have set up accountability when they record themselves every day and post the videos in that group. So so my son and his friends, they are doing their best to keep up with a routine. And I found that essential, necessary, and healthy. Because like for me, logistically, nothing changed. I don't experience this lockdown any difference than the other day. Like I've been working from home, or my clients, I see them in this Zoom rooms. I'm not going out to the events here. So anything that changed for me is the fact that I can't travel. But
which is actually, it's a big part of what you do.
Yes, it is. And it's just, I really experience a lot of anger with that. Like I'm supposed to be in Bali now by myself into a reset vacation, and I'm not. So, but you know what? It's frustrated and it's sad. And in the same time is, Bali's still going to be there, and we are called to do this right now. And it's nothing that we did wrong or we mistaken. It's just what it is, and we do our best to recalibrate. It's really a constant recalibration, like every day, right? Like even going to the store the other day, I pick up 3 boxes of tissues, and the announce in the store was to pick up just 2 of each item. So we want to make sure that everybody has access, because they can't keep up with restocking the shelves in a way that they sell the product. And it was like, oh, so I just, put a box back. And it's just recalibrating to all this as best as we can without judgment or making that, oh, somebody's taking away from me. It's not about you, and it's not about me. It's happened to all of us collectively.
And I think, sorry, carry on.
I'm sorry to interrupt. What I want to say with that, like just staying in line, because you're like very careful, like how many people live in the store, and we are in the line outside, and I was just watching how people distance themselves. And while we know that everybody has some kind of sort of worry and dealing with uncertainty and all that and all the changes, it was calm. It has a sense of calm, and it's a reconnecting at a deeper level. Like we don't need to talk with each other. We are kind of like, we are all in this together. I don't know. For me, that is just like, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I just feel a different way of connecting. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone, but that's my experience.
You know, I think it's quite a nice take, actually, what you've just mentioned, Simona, about looking at that, because I was in that yesterday. We popped out and I went, I just need to get a few last minute things from one of the shops down the way. And I was like, oh my gosh, look at the line to get in. What? This is crazy. There's never a line. And so I actually had to stop and go, okay, let me just see what's actually happening here. So I spent, I stood a meter away from the person in front of me, and I was like, the person behind me better stay a meter behind, because that's what we need to do right now, stay back, 1 meter, please. And by the time I got to the front, it actually ended up moving really quickly. And I could have chosen to have been really angry and really like, oh, this is just, this is all about me, and it's frustrating me, and this is holding me back. But actually, we were all in it in the same boat, right? We were all having to wait there. We were all being patient. We were all, some guy close up was making a few jokes about it. And I was just like, I'm just not going to choose to engage in that, because that's not actually going to serve my sense of peace and tranquility about the whole situation. And we went in, and the lady was like, I'm so sorry, we're just having to do this. I said, it's totally fine. How are you actually working out how many people go? And she goes, we're literally just going 5 in, 5 out, 5 in, 5 out, to minimize, like they were doing their part to keep us safe, right? We've never ever seen supermarkets working with the public to keep us safe. They have these massive screens up that, when you were handing in your card, they took your card, but you were behind a screen. You kind of had to, go to the side of the screen to see them, and you had to stand behind this yellow and black tape line. And I was like, everybody here, obviously they're looking after themselves as well, but they're looking after us as well. And with that, when you start looking after anybody else other than yourself, you are having an energetic or a spiritual connection with that person, And I think that's so amazing. It's like, well, if I'm a match and I'm lit and I'm helping you, I've now lit your match and you're helping this person, until eventually it just spreads globally, that we're all now helping each other, right? And if we're all taking a look at updating and upgrading our old belief system, then surely this is potentially one that we could actually be looking into, about how can we actually help those people around us, as opposed to taking all the bread off the aisle, and only thinking about ourselves. That is an old belief system where you just need to look after yourself. But frankly, if you're the last person left in the world because you ate all the bread, what good are you? Where does that leave you spiritually? And maybe this is a time for all of us to go inside and to connect with that which is greater than ourselves, to connect spiritually with other people. Maybe that's why social distancing is happening. Maybe that's why everything is happening, to make us stop and to go inside.
I will totally agree with that. And just, it's so obvious in your face, like everything that's happening and is require us to do and how it's require us to behave. Is we really could reframe that isolation, because it's not about that as it is about be with yourself.
Yeah.
Keep some distance. Look in. I don't want to get into a whole metaphorically speaking a kind of energy, but I can't help to not notice all this. Like your kid is home now, is not in school. Go and hug him more.
Yeah.
Go squeeze that kid and tell them how much you love them. My husband cannot go to work. I work from home, right? But my husband cannot go to work. And it's like, we just talked a few minutes ago before we jump on this. It's like, okay, let's share the calendars and have lunch together. Like, it didn't even cross my mind. Like simple things, right? Because I'm so used to being home by myself.
Yeah.
I'm having my lunch by myself and I see them for dinner. And I'm like, oh, I get to have lunch with my husband now. And it's just like, it's a change. And just to notice that a change, it doesn't matter if it's in a good and a bad or whatever, it's just kind of pause for a second, have us recalibrate to that new thing. So that's why our identity shift with every little thing that's happening right now. So our identity shift zillions of times a day. every day for this week, for next week, for whatever long this is going to take.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what? Our identity shift anyway all the time, virus, no virus. But this time is more like, I'm going back to that global connection.
Yeah.
Like we are all called to do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very powerful. Energetically speaking, it's super powerful. Like we totally could reset this whole world and just and come out of it from a place of like really knowing who we are, what we learn about ourselves, what it's important for us.
Mm.
Like, what kind of food am I buying? Like we go back to like such simple things, right? Like really check like, how am I spending my day? How do I interact with my family? Who are the people that I'm contacting outside of my house? Who do I really miss? And who are the people that I'm just so happy that I don't get to see them every day?
Yeah.
Because we are talking about toxic relationships and all that. This
Yeah.
is a time you could clean all that. Like
Absolutely.
it's so much goodness in it. I'm really choose to be excited that it's a global opportunity to pause, check in, heal, and look at all the good reframes that we could make in
Absolutely.
what's happening.
I love that. Simona, thank you so much. What would you say, what would be your advice for any parents out there who are listening to what it is that you've said and are really resonating with what you're saying? What little gems would you give them right now that would just help them get through the next little while at least?
Well, besides everything else that I already said,
Mm.
From what I'm learning through my work and what I see being a really a lack in the relationship of parents with their children is communication. So if you could do only one thing, or if you choose to do just only one thing, please open as many conversations as possible with your child. Talk to your child. Ask questions. Ask open questions, like really sit there and listen for their opinion, their perspective, learn about children. Let's try at least for this time to not keep telling children what to think and what to do, and actually ask them what is it they're thinking and what is it that they want to do.
I love that.
That's all I have. I mean, I have more, but if I could only say one thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was wonderful. I mean, I love the fact that you're inviting parents to actually stand in their role as parents and to be like, how can I better serve my children or my child right now? How can I be a better parent? You know, what is it that I need to do that is going to help my child to feel like they can talk to me about whatever's going on? Because if they can talk to their parents or talk to me or whatever the deal is about whatever's going on for them right now, then one day when they're older and things start to get bigger and you know, they start to have more worries, they start to maybe realize what COVID is all about, or you know, things that we're maybe not saying. All right, or maybe they bring home their first boy, you know, their first girl, or whatever the deal is, and now they've got these issues. We want to use this opportunity to open up those lines of communication so that they can trust what our responses are, so that later on they will still feel that it's open for them to talk about the more important things that are actually, you know, as their life grows, right? That's the key.
Well, it's really my favorite thing that I have in my business, and you know that, is like copy paste. So if I could invite your audience to do anything, is to copy paste what you are doing, to do that with their children, to help them find their voice. In order, like everybody's talking, you know, about, you know, confidence, and I want to be confident and all that, is we can learn confidence. We gain it through practice. And if you really are interested in raising confidence children, then create and hold a space for them when they could speak up. Let them access their voice.
Now,
That's it.
Simona, if any of anybody who's watching was like, man, this lady rocks, I totally need to access her services, where would we direct them to? Have you got a website that you want to share with us, or
Yes.
Facebook page?
Thank you for asking that. My website is my name, Simona Spark. Or you could just type my name. I'm a public figure. You could find me on pretty much every platform. And recently I hired a media person, so she's taking care of making sure that people could find me. It's all I know. Don't ask details. That's not my piece. But yes, and if I may, if people, the best way to find me is on Facebook, right? Because that's where we do a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And just for the parents, they are interested or they might struggle with something in particular. Given the fact that I'm not by myself in Bali and I'm logged into my office, I decided to give some hours in supporting parents for free. So I'm opening a group in Saturday in New Zealand, Friday in the rest of the world. So on Facebook, if you look it up, you will find that announcement. If you want to jump up for any support, it's a free consultation, free group.
Wow.
Just to,
and that would be,
you could let out some of the pain or worries.
Yeah, I think that's incredibly generous of you, and thank you so much. I just want to double check, in order to be able to find that those free sessions that you're offering, are they looking up Simona Spark on Facebook?
Yeah, it's on Facebook or on my website. It's also posted the events page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Simona, thank you so much for joining me, and it's always so lovely to have a chat with you. I love your energy. I love the work that you're doing with our LGBTQ community as well. Just keep going. You know, I do hope that a bunch of people get in touch with you, because you have got so much to offer anybody who works with you. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you. And thank you mainly for creating this space. As I said from the beginning, it's very important to hold the space for people to voice their worries, their happiness, their opinions, whatever it is. I just love it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Catch you later.